My name is Michael Herrick, and my company, Matterform, builds custom software to help small businesses start, scale, and sell. We work with businesses in all kinds of industries because I believe that every company today is a software company. And the most successful companies today are the ones who realize that not only can they afford to build their own custom software, they can't afford not to build their own custom software. That's the competitive advantage for companies in this new millennium marketplace. We like to work a lot with established companies, profitable companies who've been around and who are trying to solve some serious business challenges, usually leveraging lots of data and logistics and complex business problems. But we also talk a lot with very young companies and companies in the startup stage. I love chatting with those folks. I love taking those calls and talking to them about their ideas for building a new software product, a new app, something that's going to solve a real business problem. We don't talk to folks who want to build games or social media apps or things like that, but when somebody's got an idea, when somebody sees a problem in a business problem that's affecting people and costing people money, slowing people down in business, and they've got an idea for how they can solve that with a new app or with a new web app, better use of databases. We love talking to those people about their ideas and seeing if we can help them develop those ideas, flesh them out, and turn them into real products that they can build a successful company around. And I'm making this video today because I had a conversation this morning, and I have this conversation almost every single day. So I figured it's time to make a video about this. And if I sent you a link to this video, it's because we were having this conversation, and I want to make sure that you've got a permanent record of these ideas that I shared with you today. This comes around how people are going to bootstrap and start this new company. You've got to build some new technology. You've got to get it out in the marketplace. And how are you going to fund that? And what I see a lot, is a lot of people are limiting themselves and not realizing how many funding and startup opportunities they actually have, and specifically one specific approach that is made possible by really unique properties about the software industry in general, the nature of software, in fact, and also the nature of intellectual property law here in the United States. These are things that you don't know about if you haven't already been running a software company for 25 years like I have. But they're very interesting things, and they enable some things that a lot of people aren't aware of. So I want to share that with you. When somebody's going to build a new app, a new software product, a new website, a new web app, they typically come to me and they pitch the idea to me. They ask for a little bit of technological validation. Hey, can you do this? And the answer is always, of course we can do that. If you can imagine it, if we can build the technology to do that. Unless you ask me for a warp drive or a transporter, we can probably build any technology that you can imagine. But then it comes to how are we going to get this started? How are we going to pay for it and get something off of the ground that we can start selling? And most people think about, well, here's what I'll do. I'll get some funding. I'll invest some money myself. I'll hire some developers to build a prototype for me, and then I'll have something that I can start showing to people. I'll show it to people and maybe get some more investors. And then once I've invested a lot of money and tied up a lot of capital and hired a lot of programmers, or I'll get them to work for free. Yeah, not over here. We're going to hire a bunch of programmers and build this prototype, and we're going to have this product, and then now we're going to sell it. What I'm about to tell you, this is not new. This is not our idea. I can't take any credit for this, and I would urge you to do some research on what's called the minimum viable product. This is the lean startup methodology, and you can find all kinds of information about this online, and I'd encourage you to look into that. We always encourage them to say, we don't want to build a gigantic, complex, expensive solution for you. We want to build something quick. We want to get to market as quickly as possible with a minimum viable product, something that's going to deliver real value quickly, that will let you see if you've got a good idea, and something that people, if we can build something quickly that other folks are willing to pay for, hey, you might be onto something, and now we can get some validation, and we know that we can start investing some real money and really building that up. But here's the thing that a lot of folks don't understand about how the software business works. And it comes down to intellectual property law. It comes down to the way copyright works in this country. When my software company works for a client. Say we work with a car wash who needs a new app to keep track of all of the cars going in and out of the car wash. They've got a loyalty program, and they've got they're putting in license plate codes, and they're using this to build a customer database and invite people. Hey, it's time for a car wash, and they're tying into weather APIs to see when the weather's going to be good to get a car wash, and they need an app to do all of this stuff. Well, they hire a firm like ours, like Matterform, to build these systems for them. And then when all of that is done, the standard approach for intellectual property in a software development project like that is that the client owns a license to use the deliverable software product. They've got the right to use this software. They've probably got the right, maybe they've got the right, not always, but maybe you've granted them the right to modify the source code and things like that. Sometimes they don't even get source code. Sometimes that people don't purchase anything more than a program that they can run on a computer that they can't actually maintain themselves. They've only got a license to use the software. All of the source code that's used to build the software, the ownership for the source code remains with the software company. I own that. I own that source code. I own that code. And if I'm smart, I've designed everything for your systems to be reusable so that I can use it and leverage it for future products, for future projects. And software companies do this all the time. If one client needs a CRM system, we'll build you a CRM system, a customer relation management system, and we'll build it for you, and we'll give you something that you're going to be happy with, that's going to do exactly what you want. But we're going to own the source code, and we're going to be able to use that source code to build the next CRM for our next client much, much faster. We're going to keep on reusing that software, and we're going to keep on building on it. My company at Matterform, we've been in business building software for 25 years. We have an enormous code base that we have been developing over the years and adding to. Every single project that we work on builds up our source code base. We've got code that handles login accounts. We've got code that handles encryption. We've got code that handles email lists. We've got code that handles e-commerce shopping carts. We've got all kinds of source code for building business applications. And every software company does this. Every software company is building this up. And our clients are totally fine with us keeping that source code ownership, because they don't want to start a software company. They want to make their car wash company run as efficiently as possible. All they want is to use that software. So a use license, just having a license to use the software, is fine for them. If they wanted the source code, that means they want to start a software company, and we're going to charge a lot more money. So we're giving them a great deal on the development because there's a whole bunch of extra value that we're able to retain, and that's ownership of the software source code. Like I say, this is standard in any software development project. This is standard any software company, anywhere that you're ever going to work with. They're always going to be holding on to that source code. So getting back to the main issue here. When you want to develop something, and how are you going to get it started? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to fund it and pay for the programmers who are going to build your prototype for you so that you can start shopping that around to your clients, to your users? And my philosophy is that the best kind of investment, the best investors are clients. They're not investors at all. It's clients who are paying me to build something, and as we're building something for them, as we're delivering value to them, I am now automatically investing in my code base that I own and that I can use for future projects. So here's what I always tell people who've got an idea that they want to get off the ground and they don't know how to find all of the funding for it. They don't know how they're going to get the investment to pay for it to get it started. What can you do with your product? What tiny part of it? I know you've got a huge, big idea that's going to solve a million problems, but is there one tiny part of your project that will solve one tiny part of your target market's problem? And can you find somebody who needs that so badly that they'll pay you to develop that for them? We just need to find that one client who needs custom software that's going to solve one tiny part of the problem, one part of the big picture problem that eventually you want to solve. But you get them to pay on a contract basis for just that one small solution. Make a contract with them. explain to them how it's going to work. You can show them without writing a line of code, without any development effort whatsoever. Map it out. How is this going to solve your problem? How is it going to give you a return on the investment that you make in building this software? And then how fast can we turn it around, and how much is it going to cost? Make a project like that that's going to solve that one little bit, and have one client willing to pay for that project. You deliver that project, you've got a happy client. You've got a client who's you've solved a problem for. You've taken a problem that they had and you've fixed it for them. You've delivered working software that makes their life easier, that makes their business more profitable. And what do you have? Well, you've been paid. All of your developers have been paid. Your programmers have been paid. Everybody's gotten paid. And at the end of the day, you've got source code. You've got source code that you can build on, that you can work on, that you can use for the next project and the next feature set. Now, you're not starting from scratch anymore. Now you can go to your second client. We've got this much built. We've got this part of the problem in place, and you need this other feature. We can develop that for you. Now again, you've got a client paying you to develop a feature. You're delivering working software that solves a real problem. You've got a happy client who is happy to cut a check to you. And when the whole project is done, you've got more source code that you can keep on building on, keep on enhancing, and you own that source code. This is a way to get investment without giving away any part of your company. You don't have to give away any of your source code to do this. A couple of projects like this can be the key to launching your big idea. If you can solve that one little bit, get paid for it, keep the source code, now you've got a launching off point. You've got a platform that you can start building on. And you've demonstrated that you can deliver a software project. You can manage a software project. You can get paid for it. And now you've got something more than nothing. You've got something you can build on, and something that will help you build that big idea without seeking investment capital and without giving away huge chunks of your company. So if you've got the next great idea, you've got a plan for how you're going to completely disrupt some market, some industry, you've seen a way that we can leverage new technology, app technology, mobile technology, and we can do something in a way that nobody's thought of, let's find that one small piece, and then let's shop that around. Let's find one client who's willing to pay to get just that little solution built for them. Build the source code base. That's going to be a great way to build up a software company. That's how all software companies work. That's how my software company has built up such an enormous code base, which makes us so effective at building new solutions for new clients. I'm Michael Herrick. Our company is Matterform.com. If you're interested in this, please check out our website, Matterform.com, and get in touch. Thanks for watching.